This program is recorded and presented by Chippewa Valley Community Television. The audio for this program can be heard on WRFP LP 101.9 FM.
Chippewa Valley Community Television presents Your Local Race. Meet the Candidates 2016.
Hi, I'm Bob Brown, News Director at Chippewa Valley Community Television. Welcome to another in our series of interviews with candidates for seats on the Eau Claire County Board. Today we're speaking with Heather DeLuka, candidate for the seat in District 24 on Eau Claire's north side. Welcome, Heather. Thanks for being here today. Why don't we begin by having you tell the voters a little bit about yourself and why you like to serve on the county board.
All right. Well, I actually would like to say I'm a Wisconsin native, but I was born in Illinois. But from my fourth grade year on, I lived in Wisconsin, so I really truly believe myself to be a Wisconsin native. So I decided to go to school up here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I chose this community over La Crosse because I liked the area and the college and the things that it had to offer. I got a job at Chippewa Falls Middle School. Well, actually, I student taught at Chippewa Falls Middle School, high school and elementary, and then I got a job at the middle school, and I taught there for 33 years. I retired in June of 2014, so I've been retired about a year and a half now. And I chose, when I was looking for a home, I chose to live in Eau Claire, even though my job was in Chippewa. I chose because Eau Claire offered a lot of amenities, bus travel and arts and entertainment. Also a chance if I wanted to go back to school, I could go to the university. So that's kind of why I made my decision to live where I live. I live on the north side, kind of near the airport, and I chose that because it was a short distance to work for me.
In terms of why you want to be on the board, the county board?
Reasons why I like to serve is I started getting a little concerned about how readily taxpayer dollars were being offered for development in Eau Claire. And I was a little concerned about that, so I decided to run. I also have run for city council before in the past. I ran at district level and at large level. I just missed by about 100 votes and 1,000 votes at large, so I was close for my first run.
Well, if you get, if you're more fortunate this time around and you get elected to the county board, the board has, every board member serves on at least one and perhaps as many as 3 different of the standing committees. Are there committees that you're particularly interested in being appointed to if you get elected to the board?
Right. For county board, the airport is a large impact on my district. So that would be one committee that I would like to be part of. Also, there's a lot of highways in my district, the connection to the bypass with Melby Road. So I would be interested, and the North Crossing is in my area as well, so I guess I would be interested in that. Human services, parks and forests, I'm interested in those kinds of things. There's a lot of ones that I would be interested on the county board. I guess the one I would most like to be on is the airport because of the impact.
Okay. Are there, looking forward in the next few years, if you're elected to the board, are there any issues in particular that you think will be important for District 24 residents?
Well, I was kind of checking in to the roads that leads from 53 over to the bypass. It's Melby East, and it constantly is chewed up, heavy truck traffic on it and so forth, and I've been asking about if it's going to be, widened for the trucks, is it going to be paved for the trucks to be, or should we be thinking about having trucks go different directions on roads that are actually made for the weight limits that they have? So I guess that would be one of the things that I would be looking into. whatever development happens on the airport also affects our neighborhood quite drastically, so I guess that would be a focus that I would have.
Okay. Has the board in the recent past taken any actions that you were particularly supportive of, or on the flip side of that, any actions that the board has taken in recent times that you were strongly opposed to?
I guess in opposition, I was a bit disappointed with the location of the jail. I was kind of hoping that they would build it, out in the River Prairie area for expansion purposes, that maybe we would have a governmental center out there versus trying to squeeze it sandwiched between the river and the homes. I always think that it's important to keep the neighborhood as cohesive as you can, and those were some of our very old kind of lumber baron homes, just historical homes, and it was kind of a shame to see those disappear. I also think that we should use our riverfront for, better development than a jail setting.
Okay. Now, the county board, like all units of local government, has seen its share of funding from state sources, federal sources, on a pretty steady decline in recent years. Do you have ideas to bring to the board in terms of how to go about dealing with those fiscal challenges while still meeting the needs, the desires of the residents of the county?
Right. So I know that they are working on a long-term plan right now to build the roads and the infrastructure, which is a good thing. I'm glad to see that is happening. I think we also have to be a little bit concerned about how we develop our area. Sometimes you expand development out and you don't consider that you have to now provide services to all those places. So your police, your fire, your emergency crews. I don't see sometimes their service or their departments expanding as much as how we develop. The development expands, but we don't always add more people to our services. We're just expecting our that same amount of people in our services to pick up the slack and cover that. So I guess I don't really have innovative ways or ideas of funding. I think, like anybody, you have a budget. I have a household budget. And I see that, my utilities are going up, and I need to make sure that I cover those, as well as make sure I keep my house set and prepared. But I would have liked to have done some cosmetic inside my home, but my siding and my windows and taking care of a leaky basement take precedent. I think the same thing has to happen no matter where you are in government. You have to look to see where the excess is, and you have to make sure that you are providing or cutting where the excess is, and making sure that you're providing into the necessary what are our needs.
Okay. In the short time we have left, any final things about yourself you'd like voters to keep in mind when they enter the voting booth on April 5th?
Well, I've since I moved into my home, I actually was fairly active in the community. I've been part of a neighborhood association. I was the secretary, and then I became the president. I was part of the neighborhood coalition who did the Blues Festival down in Owen Park. So I've done a lot of things through the community. I also was part of the comprehensive plan for the city of Eau Claire. and some things with Techie as, a citizen representative.
I'm getting the signal. You're a very busy person. You bring a lot to the table. I appreciate you being here today. Heather DeLuka, District 24 candidate for the Eau Claire County Board. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for watching. Please tune in to channel 994 on the cable system for all the interviews with candidates for the Eau Claire County Board, City Council, and School Board. You can also view those interviews on our website at cvctv.org. And become an informed voter. Get out there and vote on April 5th. And tune in that night, starting at 9 p.m. for all the latest election returns as they come in. Thank you.
This program was recorded and presented by Chippewa Valley Community Television. Chippewa Valley Community Television is made possible by continuing community support. If you would like to volunteer or make a donation, you can contact us by calling 715-839-5067 or on the web at www.cbctv.org.